So what are the considerations you have to make before you have to select the hydraulic fluid? First one is the operating pressure and temperature. So if you are usually operating at a high pressure, so viscosity of the oil is going to increase, but simultaneously, usually whenever you are operating at high pressure, the frictional forces and the loads are going to be very, very high. The temperature of the oil is also going to increase. So whatever change in viscosity can happen because of the change in pressure, it can be nullified to some extent by the increase in temperature. But the increase in temperature will cause more problems to the hydraulic fluid, like oxidation. Maybe it may catch a fire because the temperature has exceeded the flash point or the fire point or even the autogenous ignition temperature. So we have to always think about what is the pressure and what is the temperature range. If the temperature range is below 0 or it is going into say -10 and other things, you have to make sure that whatever fluid you have selected, it is having sufficient anti-freezing properties, or you have to add pour point depressants to make sure that the pour point is significantly lower. Next one is material of the system and its compatibility with the oil used. Some materials will cause certain kinds of reactions with the oxidation and other byproducts of the hydraulic fluid. So if you are having a zinc, then if you are having oxidation elements, it can create soap which may block some of the pores and it will adversely affect the functioning of the system. So whatever material you are selecting, you should be ensuring that there will not be any adverse reactions that are going to take place and your system will continue to operate in a safe fashion. Next one is the speed of operation. Now if the speed of operation is very, very high, then the shear forces induced in the hydraulic fluid is also going to be higher. When you are inducing more amount of shear forces, the hydraulic fluid is basically a polymer compound with very long molecules. These molecules will have a tendency to break under the application of shear forces. So the viscosity of the fluid and its properties are going to degrade very quickly. So whatever is the speed of operation, that also forms a very important criteria. Next one is the availability of replacement fluid. Even though we try to make the hydraulic system a leak proof, whenever we say leak proof, the hydraulic fluid is not leaked into the atmosphere and it is not lost. So how much ever we try, there is always going to be some amount of leakages, and if there are some failure of the components, then the hydraulic fluid will simply flow out of the system. So the level of the hydraulic fluid will going to drop in the reservoir. Now if you are using a very specialized hydraulic fluid, then if the level in the hydraulic tank is going to drop below the minimum level, then it is very dangerous. So you have to periodically check when the level falls below a particular value. You should be able to very easily replace the hydraulic fluid. If it is not readily available, then if you have more problems, because only a specific fluid has to be added into the tank. You cannot add any other fuel just because it is having some lubricating property, just because it is having some viscosity. You cannot straight away add because of the other issues we discussed. It may not be functioning at the very high operating pressure or the temperature. There may be certain materials in the hydraulic system which can react with some other oil, and also the speed of operation. Next one is cost of transmission lines. If you are having some highly corrosive hydraulic fluids, which may be having very good properties, the cost of the transmission lines or the pipes and the tubes which are used to carry the hydraulic fluid will become exceedingly high. So a lot of money you have to spend on this particular piping system and also the walls, because you have used a very highly corrosive hydraulic fluid. So always you have to remember what is the kind of fluid you have used, what should be the kind of the piping and tubing is required. Maybe the copper tubes are very low cost available and you can bend it to any required shape, but it will have some reactions with or it will promote the oxidation of the hydraulic fluid, so you cannot use it. So you have to make specific investigation regarding the material of the transmission lines which you have to use. Otherwise, it will create more problems. Next one is contamination possibilities. So if you are operating in a system which is having very high moisture, then the hydraulic fluid also may absorb a lot of moisture. So if you are operating in the high moisture region, then definitely you have to add certain anti-rusting agents and other things to the hydraulic fluid. Then you should know how much of dust is there. So you should have hydraulic fluid which will very quickly give away the dust particles, give away the moisture and water content very quickly from itself, and the contaminants are going to settle down at the bottom of the tank. So whatever contaminations can happen, the hydraulic fluid should have some kind of resistance or some kind of mechanism by which it can free itself from the contaminants very easily. Next one is environmental conditions. So depending on the outside environment, whether it is in a high temperature application or low temperature application, again, we have to make certain decisions based on the environmental conditions. Next one is the lubricity. Whatever hydraulic fluid you are selecting, it should be having the capability to form thin films and maintain these thin films under the complete range of load. Otherwise, there is going to be the metal to metal contact and there is going to be more friction, more wear and tear. Next one is the expected service life. Now, what is the service life of a hydraulic fluid? If you have used your automobiles, you know that you have to change the engine oil after so many kilometers, because whatever the wear particles are there or whatever the soot or the carbon compounds are there which are formed, they are getting mixed with the oil. The characteristic of the oil is going to change. The same is the case with the hydraulic fluid also. As you are continuously operating it, its properties are gradually degrading, and at some point of time it may become unusable. You have to replace it. So how much time is required before you are going to replace the hydraulic fluid? That is called as the service life. So if you have to frequently replace the hydraulic fluid, then it is not a very good system or very good condition. So you should have some reasonable time in which the hydraulic fluid can be continuously used. Now you can have a hydraulic fluid which can be used for a very long period of time, but its cost also will be very, very high. So before you select a particular hydraulic fluid, you have to see what should be the cost of it and what should be its service life. We have to balance all these things. So before we make any selection of a hydraulic fluid, we have to balance the different parameters of it, and the fluid, whatever we have selected, it should be compatible with all the other elements of the hydraulic system. And whenever you are changing the hydraulic fluid, whatever is the specification is there, only that specified hydraulic oil should be used, because most of the commercially available hydraulic fluids will be having certain additives. So we may not be knowing exactly the kind of additives that are present. So whatever the specification is there for the hydraulic fluid, according to that specification only, we have to replace the hydraulic fluids. So that is about the selection of hydraulic fluids.